Hello and welcome back to the Not the Old Firm YouTube channel. My name is Ben Banks. Today's video is an exclusive interview with Danny McNamara, former St Johnstone right back and current Millwall fullback, ahead of this weekend's League Cup final between Livingston and the Saints at Hampden. Two teams you perhaps don't associate with cup finals all that often. The last few years of both in the Scottish Cup and the League Cup have seen Celtic primarily winning everything there is, and we've also seen the likes of Motherwell, Hearts, Aberdeen trying to lift silverware. But this time around, it is going to be a provincial club that lifts it, and it'll either be Livingston or St Johnstone. Today's interviewee will certainly be hoping at St Johnstone. He spent the first half of the season at McDermott Park, a team he now credits for him getting his place in the Championship side at Millwall and extending his deal for the foreseeable future at the Den, and securing his long-term future in the English Championship. And it's all down to his first half of the season at St Johnstone, where he really was one of their better players. Some might make the argument that he was their best player in the first half of this season. But the Saints are going well just now, ahead of Hampden. They've not lost to many teams outside of Glasgow since December. The last two defeats in I think over 10 games now have been to Celtic and Rangers, and apart from that, they've beaten or drawn with everybody else. So a fairly decent record. And Danny McNamara will certainly be hoping that it is a good result for his former side at the weekend. So we hope you do enjoy this one. Plenty more League Cup final based content, both from a Livingston and St Johnstone perspective ahead of the weekend, and on our website, nottheoldfirm.com, on our Twitter as well, same handle, Not The Old Firm, and of course on our YouTube channel, this being the first ahead of the build-up. Right, enough rambling from me. We hope you do enjoy this video. Do remember to subscribe to our channel, like the video, and until next time, take it easy. It's been quite a quick turnaround for you, I suppose, because you've went from Ross County away at the start of January to in about 6 weeks. You've made yourself a first team regular at Millwall. This new deal, it must have been quite a head spinner for you.
Yeah, it's been a surreal last month or so. I didn't realise it would come around so quickly. I knew I'd make my debut on that Saturday against Boreham Wood, but to play the following 6-7 games after that, I didn't realise that it would come around so quickly. But no, it's been an amazing season so far.
Did you expect the call back to Millwall when it came? I know obviously your form was really good. You were playing every week for St Johnstone, but going from Premiership to Championship is obviously a bit of a jump.
Yeah, no, of course. I didn't expect to come back halfway through the season. I was expecting to do the full season at St Johnstone. I was fortunate enough to play pretty much every game, and obviously I'd done really well, which obviously got me noticed back down at Millwall to get the call back. So obviously the whole reason of the loan was to try and get as much game time as I possibly can and try and develop as much as I can in 6 or 12 months. And fortunate enough I was to do that, and I obviously earned the call back.
Yeah, I'm sure you would have, obviously, if you did stay, then you'd have been fine staying. But I suppose the reason behind these loan moves are so you can get to where you are now, which is pretty much playing every week at Millwall, your parent club.
Yeah, loan moves are massive, especially when you get a good loan like St Johnstone, which obviously helped me massively to obviously step into the Millwall first team.
Talking about your obviously the benefits of loan moves and stuff like that, you were at Newport County, was it, as well, for a bit? So
yeah, I was at Newport last season for 6 months.
Yeah, I don't know whether you just want to do a tour of the UK or whatnot, but they're like it's not like you've just went to a club that's in London or something. That I mean, you've went to places that are quite far away from your comfort zone and your home and things like that.
Yeah, exactly. To be totally honest with you, I wasn't too fussed on where I was going, as long as it was decent enough for me, you know. Going on loan is obviously part and parcel of travelling back and forth and staying away. So obviously staying away in Scotland was tough the first month or so. But then once I settled in and obviously got to know the boys well, it was like home to me up there, to be fair.
Yeah, I can obviously speaking to folk as well who have moved anywhere really in this season. I can imagine going from London to Perth, a place I doubt you've been before prior to the St Johnstone move in the middle of a lockdown, was probably a a family decision as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, obviously staying away from home. I was living with my parents at the time, so it was a big change in their life too. But no, it was 6 months that I wouldn't have changed for anything.
But did you no problems then? Like, I know speaking to a few players, they've found it difficult because of the amount of restrictions in place. Pretty much training in the flat, back to training, repeat all over again until it's match day. Was that pretty much the same for you, and how did you cope with it?
Literally, obviously with COVID as well, so it was pretty much train, go back home, grab a coffee, and then just chill out for the rest of the night, watch the football on telly. But you know, it was fine. It was just one of those things, and I really enjoyed my time in Perth.
Are you still at home with your mum and dad?
I'd literally moved out about a month ago. Funny enough, as soon as I come back, I had a house sorted for when I was coming back, so I've just moved out with my girlfriend now. So yeah.
I'm sure your mum and dad. I'm sure your mum and dad are raging after that new deal. They'd expected dig money to go up and things like that, but no added out income for them now.
Yeah, they was gutted, to be fair.
I can imagine. But that move, obviously, you played every week under Callum Davidson. He was Millwall assistant before coming down to Perth. How you obviously knew him beforehand, but did you see changes in him going from a coach to a manager?
Cal was, I think Cal was pretty much the same from when he was a coach to being a manager, except he was probably more stricter being a manager. Working under Cal was class. I loved it. Obviously, Cal knew me. I knew Cal. We had a bit of a laugh and that, but we knew when was enough. And I just learned so much under Cal in 6 months, and I was quite surprised myself to learn so much within that time. It was an all-round great experience, and obviously give me the opportunity to play every game and put his trust into me. So yeah, it was a really good time.
I can imagine it's, even though it was a learning curve for you and a lot of the players in that changing room, it's a learning curve for him because he is only 6 months into sort of his first proper management gig.
Yeah, it was obviously coming into his first proper management role, to do so well in the 6 months, despite results probably didn't go away for the first month or so, a couple of months. The way we was playing, just under Cal was like unbelievable. The way we keeping the ball, even playing against Celtic and Rangers, teams like that, was the way we was playing football, and that we wanted to play football. The way he got us playing was very good, and I feel like Cal obviously that changed that for us.
Yeah, because I know you weren't there obviously during the Tommy Wright era, but he's obviously got a bit of a job in his hands to emulate him. It seemed to be like you were pretty much doing everything right. Should have been winning every game 2 or 3-0, but for some reason every game seemed to finish 0-0 or 1 each early in the season.
Yeah, it was just frustrating first few months, as in results wise, because the results that happened, we didn't deserve any of them, if that makes sense. We probably deserved more, especially wins as well. But as you see now, they've started to kick on again now, and it's just reflecting on the season, to be fair, of how well they've done.
I suppose it does take that time with a new manager, even if it is going well at first, for results to start ticking. I know obviously you've got Davy Martindale at Livingston, who just seemed to win every game for a wee period there, but now that he has had 4 months, you can see it's really working. Yeah,
you can, as you said, you can see now results are starting to go the way now, and hopefully they can kick on and finish high up the table.
I know when new signings and stuff come, and after a game you can go out and tweet 3 points today, fans were class, but obviously you can't do the latter part of that this season. Did you have any problem? It's harder for fans, I suppose, to connect with new signings this season just because they can't physically see them, but the St Johnstone fans seem to really take to you.
Yeah, to be fair, I've said it from the start of the season, and I'll say it now. It's totally different without fans. The fans give you that extra, probably 10%, that we was probably missing in the first few months with results when things were 0-0 and we was dominating games. With the fans there, it could have been a completely different game. So I feel like we miss fans massively, and obviously it was just a shame that they couldn't see me playing in live. Live to see me in person. I could see them in person, but it was just one of those things, and it's life at the moment, and we've just got to adapt to it.
Okay, I can imagine even if you're going to Tesco or wherever it is you go for your shopping and you bump into a St Johnstone fan, even that's probably not the same, because I'm assuming when you go out to do these things, I don't know if there is, you can tell me if I'm right or wrong, but perhaps a bit of trepidation to be near MD with all the testing stuff you need to do.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, if I was going shopping and stuff, I'd probably see the odd St Johnstone fan that would come up to me and obviously just give me nothing but praise. And everyone was so kind in Perth to me, so it would have been unbelievable to see the fans in flesh and perform week in, week out in front of them. But as I said, it's just one of those things, and it's the world we're living in at the moment. And as I say, we've just got to all adapt to it, and hopefully fans can be allowed in soon.
This is obviously shame this weekend as we record this, but weekend following is the League Cup final. You didn't really take much part in it, but you'll be due a winner's medal now.
Yeah, obviously, if St Johnstone win on Saturday, I hopefully should be able to get a medal. It would be nice, but no. Listen, the boys have done so well to get as far as they have, and there's no reason why they can't win that on Saturday. It's a massive game. You know, Livy are a good side. They love a battle, so it's down to the lads to obviously show that they're the better side, and it'd be a good game, and I'll be watching from home. So
I know during that period as well, even though the League Cup group stage games you didn't obviously take much part in them, they were also significant where that period was, because you started. And I know you've already been in it, but back in the sort of Ireland youth setup as well in your international career.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, obviously I wasn't involved. Some of the games I was away with Ireland. I got the back end. I think it was the last two games I was involved in. I was actually on the bench. But no, yeah, it's a cup that's winnable for the lads, and hopefully they can go and do that on Saturday.
So, I mean, they'll all have earned it, but I mean, you've just sneaked in the bench. We have a couple of minutes here and there, and you've managed to get potentially your first senior medal without really having. Oh, that's
it would be nice. It would be nice. Probably the easiest medal I'll ever earn if they win.
Well, to be fair, I mean, St Johnstone have only won the one major honour in their history, and I suppose, regardless of how many balls you've kicked in that, if you're part of that squad, even from afar, your name, even though who will you be playing that weekend? You'll be playing perhaps Barnsley away, but at the same weekend become a name written into St Johnstone history as well. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, obviously that would be brilliant. That'd be lovely. As you say, you got a massive game, and hopefully they can beat Livy on the Saturday.
Your replacement there as well, not replacement, he was there while you were there, but Sean Rooney's obviously came into his own, and he's scoring every week for some reason from right back. He seems to have done a decent job of emulating you.
Yeah, Sean was like class even when I was there. He was just a bit unfortunate with game time. It was just like, obviously I was doing so well. It was tough. It was just a tough situation all round. But as you see now, since I've gone, Sean's stepped in and he's been absolutely brilliant. I've been watching, obviously keeping an eye on the results. I watched the Celtic game on the weekend. Yeah, Rooms has been class, and obviously he's kicking on now, and he's just going to get better and better every game.
Obviously, you're kicking on now with Millwall. How much do you credit St Johnstone with the form you are having just now? And is it a pretty long-term deal at Millwall? So obviously, your form this season's helped that.
Yeah, obviously I signed a long-term contract at Millwall, but it all stems from my loan spell at St Johnstone. Obviously, doing so well at St Johnstone, I can't thank them enough for just giving me the opportunity and just making me help me enjoy football again, and just kick on and just do what I do.
At Millwall this season, I mean, looking at the championship table just to the right of me, it's from about 6th to where you are in 11th. It's tight, like few results, and you're either back down the sort of lower mid-table, or you're right pushing for the promotion playoffs to the Premier League.
Yeah, we've got a massive opportunity there. I think if you look at the all-round table, I think we're not far off. I think there's 10 or 13 points to bottom. So you can see how tight it is in that league, and we're just going to push on and try and get as many wins as we can, and try and push up the table, and hopefully try and push maybe for playoff position.
Because Wycombe, as we record this, it's Wycombe tomorrow, but it looks like you have got a couple of decent games. Obviously, not the old cliche, no game is easy, etc., etc. But there's ties in there that look winnable for you.
Yeah, obviously on paper, like they're winnable games for us, but in the Championship, anyone could beat anyone. There's no teams in there where I'd say who are bad. Everyone's good, and they're in that league for a reason. So every game we just take as if we was going to play a Bournemouth or a Watford, depending, even though if they're bottom of the league or middle of the table, we just take every game as it comes and treat it like no other.
For you as well, probably the most London-sounding Irishman I've ever spoke to. But in terms of your international career, if you're playing at Championship level every week, senior call-up probably isn't too far away.
Yeah, that's my next target, to try and obviously get a senior call-up. But to get a senior call-up, you need to be doing well at your club level and playing week in, week out, and just proving that you can deserve the call-up, and they don't come around often. So you just got to work hard, and that's what I'm going to do for the next 6 months. Well, however long's left of the season, 3-4 months, whatever it is, and hopefully just try and push and try and get myself noticed by Stephen Kenny.
So it could probably end up quite well for you. I mean, if Millwall push up towards promotion places, a League Cup medal and a potential Ireland call-up, it could all end in tears of joy for you at the end of this one.
That would be lovely, but I just gotta don't get carried away yet too early. Just take every game as it comes, and what will be will be.